Hi, welcome to the stream. I've had to rush to get ready, just to spent the whole day just lounging around, and I thought, oh my god, it's Thursday, I have to do the stream in like half an hour. Had to brush the living room, put the pool away. It's been like manic, but yes, it's done. I'm only like 8 minutes late, so it's not too bad. A little bit sweaty. So welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So just to announce that I do these streams every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. UK time. So you can join me every Thursday at 8:30 for this live stream. So normally I just do an introduction and then I open for questions. And you ask questions through Skype. Through Skype. It feels nice. The fan is on. It's a bit low down, but my legs are feeling it. My upper torso isn't. How's that? Ooh. So I don't officially meditate, but meditate. But I just like to sit and let the introduction happen when it happens. So sweaty armpits. Oh, that's nice. Sorry, just enjoying this breeze. It's so beautiful that this is spoken about. I know I always say you can't talk about it, you can't put it into language, into words, into concepts. But it's so beautiful that it's spoken about. It's so beautiful that this comes out, this message, this communication, this description. It's such a blessing, a beautiful thing to appear. I mean, we're so used to seeing all the negative stuff, so all the wars, all the troubles in the world, the environment, all these things we see, which are we call negative and bad. And then we have beautiful things as well that happen. But non-duality is like the most beautifulest thing that appears. This message about freedom, this message about what this is, who we are ultimately, what this ultimately is. The illusion of there being a world, the illusion of there being others, the illusion of there being a someone, a me, a person. I mean, that's that's so beautiful. That this happens. What I called this talk, I've called it who gets into heaven, the saint or the sinner, I think. That sounds quite dramatic. It sounds quite dramatic. Uh, um, we have these really strong ideas, these really strong beliefs of good and bad, of right and wrong. They're so deep, these beliefs. And they're obviously useful in society. They're useful to have an idea of good and bad behavior, what we want to see and don't want to see. So it's like a useful thing to have developed, good and bad. Like a necessary thing as well. Like it's totally a normal thing for a society to have rules and ways of behaving that benefit the group, benefit the evolving and the community. But we bring these ideas of good and bad to everything. So even in the spiritual search, in this subject of awakening to who we are, we have this same idea. It's in religion, good and bad, heaven and hell, this duality. So it's deeply held, and we even bring it to non-duality. And so we're looking for all good, the good stuff, the good behavior. When we have a teacher, whether it be a school teacher or a spiritual teacher or a religious figure, a celebrity even, we want the good. Just show us the good stuff. Show us the holy stuff. And that's just really unrealistic. There only to be the good stuff. It's so unrealistic. It's a crazy idea. But we enjoy that. We like to have people up on the pedestal as being good. The good pope, the good teacher, the holy person. They do no bad. They only have good behavior, good thoughts, good feelings. And so when we hear about the figure, religious figure, doing inappropriate things, you know, we're appalled, we're outraged, we're shocked, because it challenges the idea we had. Oh, they were supposed to be good and holy on a pedestal, and they've disappointed us all. And so people hide all their bad stuff, the shadow, dark side. They hide all that stuff in fear of being like prodded with those pitchforks, scolded. But what's being spoken about here is beyond good and bad, beyond good and bad, beyond right and wrong, beyond left and right, male and female, beyond all these seeming dualities. So beyond them, as in not them, but also fully them. So this is an energetic opening to everything. An energetic opening to nothing, to what we are, to what this is. It doesn't belong in duality. There is no duality. There's just a dream of duality, an illusion of duality that seems to appear. This illusion of I am someone, I am separate, I exist as something separate, separate from everything else. And that's a dream that seems to happen. And as that illusion, it swings between good and bad, right and wrong, have it, lost it, this and that. It swings. As it's seeking for wholeness. It's seeking for the end of that swinging. It's seeking for resolution to its problem, resolution to its uncomfortability in being a lie. In being seemingly confined and limited. It's uncomfortable. And so it's seeking for resolution to that discomfort. But it can only look in opposites for it. Always disappointed, always close and close and losing and losing and close and getting it and losing it. This swing of the mind. So what's being spoken about is not really known. We can describe it as a collapse back into everything, or a collapse of that division. We can describe it as that. Is wholeness. Wholeness. Beyond the mind understanding what it is. It is. It is. This is. So regardless of your sinful behavior, your good behavior, conditioning of the instrument. It makes no difference to this freedom of what you are. It makes no difference. This isn't about you. This isn't about that story of you, that character of you. It's called Vipassana. Vipassana. I did it in, I think it was Hereford. Hereford, I think. I did it when I was carrying my eldest. I was about 7 months pregnant, and I was doing Vipassana. They gave me a little stool, I think, to sit on during the meditations. Yeah, it's in Hereford. I think it was Hereford. So yeah, you can just ask questions now. I'm online on Skype. Yeah, Dharma Dipper. Dipper. Yeah. So there are no more questions at the moment, so I'm just wait and see if any come in. Oh, my volume's not on. I didn't hear the question. Um, Hi, one more. How does the freedom and absence of choice correlate with each other? How does the freedom? I can't say your name again. Sorry. um, how does the freedom and absence of choice correlate with each other? Well, first of all, I'll say that there isn't really the absence of choice. Like there seems to be a choice that appears. Like there's a choice to um, go in the kitchen or stay in the living room. There's a choice that seems to appear. The point is that there isn't a chooser of that choice. Like nobody produced that choice. Nobody put that thought in of kitchen or living room. That's more the point, that there isn't that chooser, and that equates to freedom. If this is happening without a chooser, without a doer, I'm very shiny. Um, then that's freedom. That is total freedom. That there isn't someone choosing. That there isn't someone living. I mean, that means life is happening. Life is just spontaneously happening. I mean, how wonderful is that? Hello. Oh, that's it. Hello, Lucas. Lucas. I think Lucas. Tucas. Is that a T? Tucas. Hello. Okay. Oh, Lucas. Okay. Lucas. It's got a line going through the L though, like a T. But is that Russian or a different nationality? Thank you. Oh, poet, maybe. Poet. Probably not, but for your question. Poland. Okay. Dzień dobry. Dzień dobry, Lucas. Is that how you spell that? Zin W. Okay. Some non-duality teachers says there is no time. Okay. Oh, so funny. I believe there is time because if your stream has a beginning and has an end and have ending, so there is something first and next there is no time. So there is something for first and next there is no time. But I think I don't know what is this time. If there is time, what is time? Okay. Get my teacher glove sleeves up. Oh dear, I have no idea. Like, I can only speak from this experience. I can't speak in any other way than this experience. So what is time? Time. So in this human reality, we have time, we have clocks, we have a calendar based upon the movements of the sun in the sky. It moves. Well, no, we move, but the earth moves round, but it seems to move. So we created this idea of time, of measuring these movements, seeming movements of the seeming sun, to create a way to, I guess, organize and plan and arrange things. So we could then say, plan in the future and go, I'm going to meet you in 3 hours. So a way began of mentally imagining future, of mentally imagining past, and of mentally imagining now. So this time idea began as a practical way of organizing which makes sense. It's very practical, very useful to have time, to have clocks, to have this idea of time, to communicate. Now, other than this clock on the wall or on the computer screen, what is time? Like, does time actually exist? Like, where can you point to time other than the clock ticking? It exists as an idea, as a mental abstraction. I can't see it as anything other than that, a mental idea, time. And it isn't wrong or bad, this idea of time. It's very useful. It becomes a problem when we began to live in that idea, live in the mind. So this idea of me lives in time. It lives in who I am now, who I was, who I'm going to be. It's an abstraction of the mind. So yeah, the stream has a start time, it has an end, roughly end time as well. But it starts here, it ends here. It can only always be here. It can't not be here. It can't not be here. The mind comes and appears here, talking about time, about past and future, and starting and ending. The mind talks about that, imagines that, has an image of that, but that could only appear here, can only appear in this stillness, in this timelessness. And we as humans living in this time-bound reality could say have forgotten the timelessness. And we haven't, but it's just this identification with the mind that seems to happen. And that's totally impersonal. There isn't somebody doing that. It just seems to happen. Thank you, Lucas. I can't say goodbye in Polish. What's goodbye in Polish? I let hello, but not goodbye. Thank you for your question. Oh, do with Xenia? Do with Xenia. You have a birthday tomorrow. Yeah, seemingly. I have a birthday tomorrow. Yeah. Hi, Siddharth. Siddharth. Hi, Rebecca. Are you compelled to follow your desires? Oh, thank you. Are you compelled to follow your desires that are bad for you after the shift? Are you no longer a slave to the impulses that your mind creates? Yes, I do naughty things often. Are you compelled to follow your desires? That's beautiful. Just the word desire is so beautiful. Yeah. Isn't so much that I'm following the desires. Like it's more like the desires are alive. The desires are like yeah, alive. They are what they are. There's nobody like they just are what they are. Like they're a movement. they move, like they drive the body, they move the body like a, yeah, like a movement. But the desires or the movements are not about fulfillment. They're just desires, just movements towards. They aren't fulfillment. They aren't going to fulfill anything. They're just what they are. When you feel separate and there's still that seeking, there's a belief or a need for these desires, believing deeply that they're going to fulfill you and give you wholeness, give you that permanence that is longed for. Whereas the desires are just desires. Even for the bad stuff. Yeah. But I wouldn't say I'm a slave to the impulses. I wouldn't say I'm a slave to them. Like I'm being dragged around by these impulses. It doesn't feel like that. It feels more whole, like they are what I am. The impulses are what I am. There isn't that separateness from them. Yeah. But the main point is no pleasure is going to give you what you long for. It can't. It can't. It can't. A temporary thing can't fulfill you. What you are is beyond temporary. What you are is beyond form, beyond limitation. You aren't lacking anything. You are whole. You are whole. Happy birthday. Okay, maybe that's going to be all for this evening. Thanks for your questions. Keep doing that. Oh. Thanks for your questions and for, yeah, joining in, I suppose. Yeah, so thank you, and yeah, I'll see you next Thursday. Yes. Bye.